we are back again quickly. I saw my grab here, Master Peter Johansen. And welcome, Master Peter Johansen.
Thank you, Sensei JP. It's a pleasure to be here. En baie dankie vir die wonderlike toernooi wat jy aan mekaar sit hier. So I think the fact that you've managed to gather so many different styles from all over the show just shows how awesome martial arts can be and how inclusive it can be. And I just want to commend you all on the organization and how everything's running. So well done.
No, thank you. Yes, obviously we are glad to have you guys here. I will tell you all, Master Peter Johansen, he's going to tell you more about it. But they actually do Tang Soo Do. It's a Korean martial art. For me and for you two people to understand what is Tang Soo Do, he's not going to take it on. That is Chuck Norris karate, the real Chuck Norris karate. That's the style Chuck Norris do, and that is what it is. So if you want to know what Tang Soo Do is, I call it Chuck Norris. It's a dangerous style, eh? So Master Peter, tell us a bit more about you and the Tang Soo Do and stuff, and how you experience everything.
Sensei JP, yes, I started Tang Soo Do under Grandmaster Eddie Jacobson in 1985, 1986. I was, could barely wipe my own butt at that stage, but so I've started, been doing Tang Soo Do all my life. And what a pleasure to have started training under the Grandmaster who brought Tang Soo Do to South Africa in the early 80s and managed to grow it to where we are today. Tang Soo Do is a traditional Korean martial art. Like you rightfully said, it's a Chuck Norris karate. It all originates from Korea. The most of it comes from after the Japanese, after the Second World War. The Japanese colonized Korea and they pulled out after they lost the Second World War. And Korea managed to take back their own country. And besides the split that happened eventually where we've now got North and South Korea, Tang Soo Do always stayed true to its origins. But because of Japan having such an influence in Korea in those years, a lot of the katas, or the forms as we call it, you'll see as a lot of the Shotokan and your Japanese karate influence with the forms that we all do, or the katas that we do. Obviously, there's a lot of differences as well with the Korean flair, with the higher kicks and those kind of things that we do. And then on top of that, we also have a big weapon syllabus that we've also brought in, where we teach the people in the Japanese style, they call it bow staff, we call it a bong. And other weapons such as tonfa, which looks like the police pattern with a little handle on it, short stick or kali stick as it's also known. We also do joint manipulation, a little bit of grappling, and then also pressure point attacks and pressure point manipulation. And I can just carry on and carry on and carry on. But there's so much that Tang Soo Do can offer. But what makes Tang Soo Do great is the fact that it's such a universal martial art that we can come and compete against guys from Japanese styles like Shotokan, for example. Or we can go to the kickboxing tournaments and can compete against the kickboxers. We can even compete against the Kabudo guys who all only do weapons. So it's really a really nice open style that allows you to compete basically anywhere, which is what makes Tang Soo Do great.
Yeah. Now I see what you call forms and we call kata. You got basadai and you got very similar katas. Jitei, I saw Jitei when I judge your guys. Then I say, oh, that is our kata. And there's a lot of similarity in that. And yeah, and you know, when we started, we compete at your tournaments and you cross-compete at our tournaments. And if you look at today, how do you see how tournaments has changed after we start competing with competing together and supporting each other? How did you see that it had a big impact of change in your students, the way they competing, and the way you're managing your tournaments now?
I think the first thing is that in the past, federations used to be very much closed off in the sense that they want to compete only against their own federation. And it created a problem in the sense that I don't say federations' style or their quality of martial art went down, but you do get a case of where it kind of does get watered down. It's like making a copy of a copy of a copy. What makes the tournaments like this great, and I've seen it in my students, and as we progress to compete nationally, and next year we'll be going internationally to our world champs as well, when you have different styles like we have here today, I mean the quality, for example, of the katas that the Japanese styles do has really helped the Korean styles pick up again and come back to that standard, because we did drop it at one stage. And it's so great now to see that now we've got the Korean guys, we've got the Japanese martial artists, they're competing against each other, and it's anyone's game. The standard has come to such a point, especially in the Western Cape, because of the fact that you've brought your students to the tournaments that I host. I bring the students, and they get to know each other. It's just really picked up the standard across the board, and you can see it on all the styles that come and compete here. And it's all the tournaments where they're multi martial arts styles competing together. They just build each other. A lot of times people think, oh no, but just now or instructor might feel that he doesn't want to bring his students because, I don't know, maybe it's a fear of he doesn't want to have his students get disappointed because they might not win something. If you're not doing this, you're making a massive mistake. You need to bring your students to tournaments like this. They need to spend time on the tatami and compete against other styles, because it opens up a bigger world for them, and it opens up that quality and where they actually see, hey, these guys are doing it this way, and sure, that looks nice, that looks stunning. This is how we can implement this maybe. And a lot of times some of the traditional stuff, and I can talk out of the Tang Soo Do side, where certain things have become softer instead of staying the hard impact that it's supposed to stay. But it's great to see that that's coming back now.
Yeah, and I think my vision was with this Cape Town All-Style Invitational is to create that kind of where all the styles come together, the Korean, the Chinese and the Japanese, and just have an awesome day at the end of the day and learn from each other. People are enjoying. I spoke to Sensei JP earlier. It was a different flavor watching the Chinese doing their forms.
Completely different.
And people say, wow.
I had the honor of judging one of the youngsters doing one of their forms, and it was something completely different, something I've never seen. But how beautifully the guy did it, the competitor did it, and how wonderfully he just put his whole thing on the floor, and he gave it his all, and you can see the passion. It was absolutely stunning. So again, this is now completely a different style from the kung fu guys from China are now competing against the Korean guys and the Japanese, which is stunning. And it's so nice to see how it's just bringing everyone together. And you can see everybody's happy, everybody's having fun, everybody's enjoying themselves, and that is what it should be about.
That's it. No, yeah. And if you belong to an organization that restrict you, then you got a problem. I don't want to go into politics, but
I'm going to put it out there. If you're restricting your students, then you're doing your students firstly an injustice, and secondly, I always ask that person, but what's the personal agenda behind your decision? Why are you restricting people? It makes no difference whether my students compete at your tournament, at another tournament. What makes it important is that the guys are getting time on the mats.
That's it.
And they're picking up the necessary experience, and they're gaining out of it.
That's it.
Why would you want to restrict your students from that?
Oh, we will go and answer that. We can think about it. I think maybe one day we can have a decent podcast off the cuff with a bottle of red wine, and we can bring it out.
I think that would be a show to watch.
But to get back to tournaments, what do you think about how that has changed the technology, especially with us now? We're promoting it for free, the key app system and everything. How did it change your tournament?
What a pleasure. In the past, when we used to run I call it manual, you'd have to have your entries go out. People would send you the entry forms. You would have to sit for a whole day just capturing entries. That's one day gone. Then the next day you have to sit with all your spreadsheets and figure out all your divisions, and then that's another day gone, and eventually your third day goes just into organizing your schedule and figuring out who needs to be at what mat at what time.
Yeah.
That's 3 days of your life gone. The key-up system has absolutely changed and revolutionized it to the point of where you can run a tournament with 200-300 entries with no problem. You don't have to spend 3 days working out categories and running spreadsheets, because it does it all online for you. So it just streamlines everything so great. And all technology, yes, when it works it's great, and sometimes there is problems, and then it's not so great. But if I think of the problems that we might have had with the technology, it's so much less than the problems we've had in the past, where you've either missed somebody's complete draw sheet, and now or his entry, and now you got to find out where that person's got to. It's really made a lot of time saving. I refuse to run a tournament without it.
Yeah, no, meaning, I call it the war room corner, in the corner there. I got the printer there, everything, screens, I monitor everything. We can change the draw sheet immediately, we can print it immediately, and it's just run.
It's
if there's
on
a
the
problem,
fly.
it's just going like this. It's just going like this.
And it's so amazing when you can see when the people are opening up the mats and the first divisions are going on, and everybody's still a little bit jittery because it is a new system for a lot of people. But as soon as that first division's done, then it just runs like a machine. It just goes. And what a pleasure.
And it opened up the opportunities us to live stream. It was so easy, not easy, you figure it out. But now, almost every tournament get live streamed, every floor now.
You know what makes it great is the fact that they've got the facility where you can actually have the people's names and their live scoring happening. The audience at home is watching this and watching the mats. What a pleasure that hey, there's little Johnny and he's fighting against little Mike, and they are now doing kumite, and you can see the time running out. You can see it's like watching a live rugby match, for example.
Yeah.
It makes it great. And what makes me really excited about the system is the opportunities that it's still going to generate going forward. Because I think we're just scratching the surface of this iceberg. There's still a whole iceberg to figure out and to make work, but it's coming, and I'm very excited about what is coming.
Yeah. And what do you think about the podcasting?
This is very cool. I'll commend you on that. That's very awesome. And I've watched some of the podcasts that you've done with some of the instructors at your other tournaments. And well done. I think it's great. It's great hearing from people. It's great hearing from other people, especially from other walks of life, people from other federations, getting their opinions in. And it just opens up a whole world of information to people, to the audience out there who don't know something or not sure or want to find out about something. Then at least they know, hey, there's a podcast about, let's say in this case, Tang Soo Do, so they can go find out what Tang Soo Do is.
That's it. And for the viewers that doesn't know, me and Master Peter, he is also a radio representative at your stasie. He used to do he's doing the morning show. And I was also a radio presenter there for Middagmalligheid.
It was Middagmalligheid with JP there. So.
But unfortunately I had to stop because of other commitments and work, and it was just difficult. It was sad, I really enjoyed it. But you're doing you're still going strong there. And and we're looking forward. Your next tournament is there.
We are having the Joostars is sponsoring the medals for us and quite a portion of the tournament. So it's known as the Joostars Winter Challenge. This happens on the 20th of July in Brackenfell.
That's it.
The information will go out on all the media platforms within the next couple of days, and hope to see as many people there as possible.
That's it. Yeah. We will support as much as we can. But in any case, I'm not going to keep you up. I know you need to go judge further and ref further.
I think they're going to shout at me now.
Yeah, shout at me now. Thank you very much, Master Peter, for putting some time to come chat quickly with me. And I'm looking forward to it. And we will catch up later.
Absolutely. Sensi JP, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks,